I'm on a train right now from Kyiv, Ukraine to Poland. I'm here as part of a congressional delegation, or CODEL, organized by CSIS.
Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the U.S. Congress has appropriated about $175 billion to help support Ukraine. This is an enormous amount of money in a short period of time. So it's important for members of Congress to be able to have the opportunity to get on the ground, see how this assistance is being spent, and get a sense for what the reality is on the ground in Ukraine.
Constituents around the U.S. want to know why their hard-earned tax money is going here to help defend Ukraine. What I really wanted to accomplish on this trip is to get more of a feel of Ukraine in its whole. And what we're seeing is the realities of ordinary Ukrainian people and what they have to deal with each and every day.
I have to vote. I have to make decisions about U.S. policy concerning Ukraine, especially Ukraine aid. And it's helpful to be here on the ground, talking to Ukrainians, seeing things with my own eyes, so that I have a better informed vision of what's happening here with this conflict.
The itinerary for this trip included a wide breadth of meetings and activities, from meeting with President Zelensky himself to conversations with internally displaced people whose lives have been uprooted by this conflict.
So members of Congress have the opportunity to travel through an official CODEL that is sponsored and arranged by the State Department, or with a privately sponsored organization. That's what CSIS does. The unique thing about CSIS trips to Ukraine is that we allow members and staff to spend multiple days on the ground in Ukraine. The State Department requires members to enter and exit the country the same day.
I appreciate CSIS giving us this opportunity. We actually got to put our boots on the ground and stay on the ground, having meetings at the highest level with President Zelensky, to a level of speaking to a woman who had her apartment bombed out, being able to be here and get that sentiment and talk to a individual Ukrainian like that. That is the impact that these types of trips have, that this trip will have on me, and be able to, like I say, solidify my support for Ukraine.
Because we were there for a full week, we had an opportunity to really get a wide array of meetings. We visited Bucha, where we saw the memorial by the mass grave. We also visited the Children's Hospital in Kyiv that was struck by a hypersonic missile. The Children's Hospital was a particularly, I think, important place to visit, to see that Russia has really launched these attacks, not just focused on military infrastructure, but also on civilians.
We heard many perspectives on how the aid is utilized, but also witnessed firsthand how the aid protects Ukraine and improves the lives of everyday Ukrainians.
Last night, we were in our rooms when the alarm went off. The air raid was coming. And after about 15 minutes, the missiles were incoming, and our Patriot systems knocked them out of the sky. That's the very real difference that makes life here bearable, that they're able to knock down many of these, but obviously not all.
In every meeting we had with Ukrainian officials, civil society leaders, and even ordinary civilians, the Ukrainians expressed nothing but immense gratitude for the large amount of assistance and support that the U.S. has given them over the past 2 years. However, they still acknowledge the difficult questions that lie ahead in the future of U.S. aid to Ukraine.
There has to be an end point. There has to be a goal. There has to be a point at which we say, we've assisted this far and that was our goal and it's mission accomplished. And I don't think we've really defined that yet. How long this aid continues, what it's for, that's a conversation we really need to be having.
What does the future of U.S. assistance to Ukraine look like? I don't think anyone knows. But answering that question requires a deeper understanding and a fuller picture of the situation here on the ground in Ukraine.
Being able to see, hear, listen, and feel the culture, the people, what they're about, the resiliency, the determination of the Ukrainians is something that you can't get by staying in the United States.